While you're looking for your future spouse, this should be a no-brainer. Making yourself more attractive makes it easier for you to find the husband or wife that you want. Now, what may not be so obvious is that there is some things that are less noticeable. Like there's some things that aren't as obvious. And I would say it's probably one of the most overlooked ways that you can make yourself more attractive. Now, I'm going to direct this towards the men, but women, you can listen to this too because it'll help you pick out a good husband. So welcome back to Relationships Ain't Easy. Today we got a good one like we always do. And we're talking about ways to make yourself more attractive. And like I said, I'm going to direct this towards the men today. But what we're talking about today is being skilled is attractive. Being skilled is attractive. I think a lot of times this gets overlooked because normally, when we think about like, okay, I need to step my game up, it's normally, okay, I need to get in shape. I need to think about what I'm wearing, how I'm dressing. I need to, maybe get my money up and whatever. But those are what we normally think about. We normally think about what we look like, what we're wearing, and our money, right? And there's nothing wrong with those necessarily. But what gets overlooked is your skills. And again, like I said, I'm mainly talking to men. But what I think men, what you need to know is that women find you being skilled at something very attractive. Okay? So when I'm saying like you're very skilled at something, it means A, you know what you're skilled at. So you have to understand that all of us have been given gifts and talents and we have skills. They need to be developed, but we have them, but you need to know what they are. And then 2, you need to be doing something with them, right? And that's what I'm talking about by being skilled. So you need to have put some time into it and you're skilled at it. So, I think if you've been to any church or anywhere, for some reason, women love a guy who can sing or play the guitar. Like if you're up on stage, and you've been up on stage, that there's a lot more girls who all of a sudden, let me say it again. There's a lot more girls who all of a sudden become more attracted to you. Again, it's something about, being up on that stage. It's about showing your skills. It's about them seeing you in like your element. And that makes you more attractive. I remember for me, I wasn't on the stage, but for me, my wife was like, she's like, when I met you, I noticed that when you got into something, like you were passionate about it and you would like do a lot of research and you would like really study it and you would kind of be zoned in for like, weeks, at least weeks, if not months. And a good example is, this was actually after we got married, but a good example is we got our first truck. Growing up, I never had a truck. Immediate family, everybody had cars. And I wasn't really close to anyone who had a truck. So all of a sudden I have this, I got a truck. All of a sudden there's a lot I need to learn. If you've never driven a truck and you've only driven cars, then you don't really know that they're different. All right. And I wanted a truck that, could haul things. You could put stuff in the back. And so I had to learn all these new terms. And there's different, even if you're hauling something in itself, that's totally different than just driving a car and just having stuff in the back of the trunk. There's some skills you have to do. So I was watching videos and I was learning about, the tire pressure is different, type of tires. You can have off-roading, hybrid. You have all these different tires and you got to figure out which one's going to work best for you. And then again, there's different things with like how much your truck can pull and how do you know how much it can pull. And you gotta know, because just because you have a Chevy or you got a Ford or whatever, the trucks, they have different packages and they come in so many ones. It's different than cars. Normally cars have like 3 or 4 But trucks it can be one truck, but it can have 15, 20 different variations from that truck. So anyway, I was doing a lot of research. And so my wife, she said she finds that attractive because she's like, you're being passionate about something. And I haven't done any studies on this, but what I believe is I know women like security and they like feeling secure in the relationship, but especially the finances. Like they want to know that they're going to have a house. They would like to be able to decorate the house. And they want to know, like, if we have kids, we can pay to have the kids. We can pay to take them to the doctor. We can pay to get them their clothes. We can, et cetera. They like that security. That's something that they seek out. And so if they see you being skilled at something, either consciously or subconsciously, they're saying that skill is something that they could use to help get me security. Now, I'm not trying to say it like in a selfish way. Some people do take it selfishly, but I'm not trying to say it that way. There's something they're seeking and something that they like, so that's fine. But I'm just trying to let you guys know, you men, know that is something that they are interested in. Because what we see on social media, on TV a lot of times, they don't mention that a lot. Like they may just say, oh, women like security, and it's kind of an afterthought. What they focus on is the women want someone 6 feet tall or taller. They want someone who makes six figures or more. And they want someone with a six pack, right? 6 feet, 6 figures, six pack. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Those are 3 sixes. So if you read the Bible, 6 is the number of man. And we all know 3 sixes. It's not a good look. But anyway, the point of what I'm trying to tell you is that's what people tend to focus on. And that's what people tend to talk about a lot. So I want to bring the light. No, hey, something else is probably just is more important, because here's the truth. And you can test this out. And I'm going to tell you how to test it out too. Your height, your level of fitness, like having a six pack, and the amount of money you make, if you just take those, they're not very good indicators of you being a good husband or you being a partner who the woman can be a partner with you and have a successful marriage. There's like, and you can just find someone who's been married for 20, 30 years and ask them. And we've all heard those things. No one ever says, well, it was because, he had his six pack. And I just remember we would go through tough times and be sick. And I would just sit there and think about his six pack. And then that would bring us back together. No one says that. And no one says, well, I know, things got tough and we got tested with different things. But I would just remember that he makes six figures. And then all the pain and all the, no one says that, okay? That doesn't happen. What they do talk about, though, is the person's character. So being skilled at something is an indication of your character, right? Because to be skilled, you have to develop that skill. You're going to need some discipline. You're going to have to push through some adversity, right? Because, here's a good example. I'm teaching my son how to play basketball. He's 4 years old, and so he's learning how to dribble, and he gets frustrated. So we have these challenges sometimes where he's like, okay, let's try to dribble 10 times with your right hand. And he gets frustrated. And so I try to help him through that. And then, of course, when he does it, he's excited. But anyway, that example is to show you that no matter what you do, if you have a skill that you're trying to develop, you're going to have to go through some type of adversity. So these are all good. These are all green flags. If someone knows how to push through adversity, they stick to something, they're disciplined, they don't give up when things get tough. Those are better indicators of someone who can be, a part of a great marriage. Okay. So before I leave you, I want to kind of go through and help you, okay, so how do I do this? Like, I understand it's good to be skilled, But I know a lot of you, again, because I want to help those who need help. Like Jesus said, he's like, I didn't come here. He's like, doctors aren't for people who are well, doctors for people who are sick. So I want to help those people who need some help, because I was one of those people one time that I had to learn the hard way, which means I made a whole bunch of mistakes but I didn't give up. So I give myself that. But what you want to do is, I'm going to give you some general guidelines, and I know the Holy Spirit will give you, he'll help fill in the blanks for me. And of course, you do your own research and you get on your journey, you'll find this out. But the first thing you need to do, and I said this earlier, is we've all been given skills and talents. No matter if you realize God's real and he's the one who did it, or whatever you want to believe, but we all have skills and talents. Now, your job is to find that out. And it's going to take time. People are always asking, how do I find it? Well, it's going to take time. Think about, and again, this is just real quick. These are just, the 30,000 foot view, okay, that I'm giving you. But what you want to look for is, what type of things do I like just doing on my own in my free time? I guess a good example is for me, like at work, I like coming up with better processes for things. Okay. So like if I'll actually try to work for extra free time so I can just do process, because I love creating good processes that make it easier or makes my work more efficient so I can, have less stress. So just look for things that you like to do. Maybe you like to encourage people, so you can have a podcast about relationships ain't easy. Or maybe you really love fitness, and no matter what, you're always doing that. So that's first, look for what you're doing. Now it's going to first look for what you enjoy doing. You just naturally are drawn to. My second step and recommendation for you is to just develop that skill. Just develop it. Whatever it is, do it as often as you can. Find some people who do it and do it well. Mimic them. Learn from them. And they do this a lot in sports. They'll watch film. Kobe talked about he would watch films of the great people before him. And, you don't just watch it for enjoyment. You're watching it to learn. You're watching it to see, okay, what do they do here? Why do they do it? How do they do it? We watch it over and over again. So I would suggest that. And then after that, you're going to have to try something. You're going to say, okay, well, I'm great at numbers, so I'm going to try accounting. So find some way, internship or whatever. I'm going to try accounting. Or I'm going to learn, I'm great at singing, so I'm going to try, maybe you need to start your own thing where you're making music. Sorry, if you heard that, that wasn't angels from heaven. That was something up on my computer. But anyway, yeah, you want to make sure that you actually start trying things, and just understand the first thing you try doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. You just have to try something, set a certain amount of time. Like if you're going to, back to the accountant thing, you can say, okay, I'm going to do an internship for 3 months and I'm going to see how I like it. And so stick to it for those 3 months, but give yourself a start time and an end time so you can end. So anyway, to wrap this all up, the most overlooked way to make yourself more attractive is working on a skill, developing a skill, becoming skilled at something. And anyone can do that. And, it has nothing to do with genetics. It's just, we've all been given skills and talents. It's attractive. Women like that. Men, okay? And women, when you're looking for a man, you should look for a man who is, at the very least, developing a skill consistently. Obviously, if they already have a skill developed, it's even better. And then, men, if you don't know, you're like, okay, hey, look, I've been trying to figure out what what my calling is or what I'm good at or whatever. Just remember those 3 steps. First, just really sit down and think about what you're good at, what you kind of do on your own. What's something that, if you started at the same time as someone else and you both were new at it, you'd be a step ahead of them because you kind of get it. Like it just kind of clicks. 2, develop that skill, work on it, study it, find someone who's doing it well that you want to do it like and mimic them. And then 3, start finding ways You can make money doing that, basically. And you have to try stuff and just realize that when you try it, the first thing may not work. Okay. So if this has been helpful for you, like it. And if you haven't already, subscribed. If you know somebody that needs to hear this, please share it with them. Just help them out. Just send them the link. And then if you want to ask me any questions, you can leave it in a comment. Now, if you have a question about something that you think may take longer, or you want me to, I haven't talked about at all, go to Instagram at relationships ain't easy, no apostrophe. There's actually a link in the description, and send me a DM. That's the best way. And if it's something good, I'll make a episode about it. Actually, so someone sent me one. I got my first one. Someone sent me one a few days ago. And so I'm looking into that, seeing how I can make that into some kind of content. It may be full episode, or it might be like a longer reel or YouTube short or something. But anyway, we're going to answer it. So thanks for coming and stopping by, and I will see you next time.